Let's do some trading now with Scott Bauer, who's down at the SIBO. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. So Scott, PVH going the way of Macy's and Nordstrom, or is it just too bearish on this thing already? Walk me through how you want to approach it.
Man, Cruiser already stole my thunder. We must have been looking at all the same research here.
No, that.
Seriously, Sean. Yeah, right. Sean covered it really well. And my concern with PVH, you know, given all of the brands, the Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, things that are actually looking good, my big concern are some currency headwinds, the U.S.-China trade tariffs, and then the unrest in Hong Kong, which I think over the last probably 6 to 8 weeks is really going to impact results. So I'm looking for a downside move here. And some of that also, besides the fundamental side of that, is also technical. You know, you look at some of the technical things out there, like some of the Bollinger Bands, and look at the moving averages, 200-day moving average. It's coming up to some significant resistance. So this one's a little bit more difficult for me to trade, Oliver, only because there's not weeklies, and I love trading weekly options. So we're going out to regular December options, which are, you know, 3 weeks away or so. But I'm just buying a simple put spread, a downside vertical put spread, the 95.90 put spread. You got an expected move that the option market is pricing in of almost $10 here, which really targets just about 90 to the downside. So I'm looking at buying that put spread, $5 wide, somewhere for around $1.20, $1.25 or so. Really good reward to risk. I think you have to be very cautious with this stock.
Yeah, as we were talking about, there's been big vol around these earnings, right? So the idea that this thing can move really in either direction, because you've got the one side, right, that is very bearish. You don't have a lot of big expectations. Analysts aren't a fan of the stock. All it takes is something reasonable. And if we see like we got in Nordstrom, right, then all of a sudden it breaks away from the pact. It's hard to know with the actual owner of the brands than it is with the retail names, or Macy's and Kohl's might have been an easier call.
And I usually like taking the contrarian side, and I think the contrarian side with PVH would certainly be to the upside. However, when I look at everything fundamentally, technically here, look at some of the geopolitical risks that are going to impact this stock, you know, that's why I'm buying a put spread. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, every trade that I, you know, talk about here is completely risk defined, as this one is as well.
Yeah. All right, Scott, while we got you, let's talk about the broad market here as well. We've got the equity market just cruising this morning to kick off the week, Scott. What do you think? Should we really believe the latest on the U.S.-China stuff, or is this just a market that is, you know, going to go back VIX 11? I mean, are we heading down to 2017 complacency?
I am the most glass half full, most optimistic person in the world. However, when it comes to the market and the tariff talks, even if we wind up getting this phase 1 agreement, Oliver, I believe this is just a classic case of buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. So, you know, the market is, it's hard to fight the tape right now, but this is such a critical period because this week's going to be low volumes. You're probably going to see moves that, you know, maybe wouldn't ordinarily happen here, but if we do wind up seeing something positive, I think there's a sell on it. And if we get negative news, I think there's a sell on it. So, you know, I'm not saying short the market here, but what I'm saying is be cautious, be protective. Volatility is so low. Lock in some of those profits by buying maybe some VIX calls or just buying some S&P puts below the market here. Just protection is too cheap in this environment.
Yeah. All right. Scott, like it, Mr. Bauer, appreciate it. As always, coming to us from the SIBO, the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy.